The Unraveling of Innocence, the death of a toddler in Newport News. On April 5th, a chilling silence fell over 36 Cedar Avenue in Newport News, Virginia. Police responded to a desperate call, a plea for help that arrived too late. A 20-month-old toddler lay unresponsive, their small life extinguished before it had truly begun. The scene was marked by tragedy. Despite the rapid response, the toddler was pronounced dead at the scene. The initial shock soon gave way to a grim investigation, a search for answers in the face of unimaginable loss. Weeks later, on April 24th, an arrest was made. Zayton Perry, the individual entrusted with the child's care, was taken into custody. The community held its breath, grappling with the implications of this devastating event. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. The charges leveled against Perry painted a disturbing picture. He was accused of second-degree murder, a charge that carries the weight of irreversible harm. The legal system began its slow, deliberate process, seeking to uncover the truth behind the toddler's death. Adding to the gravity of the situation, Perry also faced a charge of felony child neglect. This accusation spoke to a profound failure of responsibility, a betrayal of the trust placed in him. The legal consequences loomed large, casting a shadow over the proceedings. At the time of his arrest, Perry was already in custody on unrelated charges. This detail added another layer of complexity to the case, raising questions about his background and character. The investigation delved deeper, seeking to understand the circumstances that led to this tragic outcome. Perry's account of the events leading up to the toddler's death offered a chilling narrative. He admitted to being the child's babysitter on that fateful day. His words, however, were fraught with inconsistencies and disturbing details. He claimed to have found the toddler playing with his own feces. This unsettling discovery, he said, prompted him to take action. His subsequent actions, as he described them, would prove to be fatal. Perry stated that he gave the toddler a bath following this incident. It was during this bath, he alleged, that the situation escalated. His explanation of what transpired next was both shocking and deeply troubling. He confessed to squeezing the toddler's ribs out of frustration during the bath. This admission revealed a moment of uncontrolled anger, a violent act against a defenseless child. The consequences of this act would be devastating. Perry further claimed that the toddler hit his head on the bathtub. He presented this as an accidental injury, a mitigating factor in the child's death. However, the evidence would soon contradict this version of events. The autopsy, performed by Dr. Gunter, revealed a horrifying truth. The examination exposed a pattern of injuries far more extensive and severe than Perry had described. The findings painted a grim picture of abuse and violence. Multiple broken ribs were discovered, indicating a sustained assault on the toddler's fragile body. These fractures were not consistent with a simple fall or accidental injury. They spoke to a deliberate act of violence. A 3-inch laceration to the liver was found, causing significant internal bleeding. This injury alone was life-threatening, a testament to the force inflicted upon the child. The internal damage was extensive and irreversible. The autopsy also revealed signs of shaken baby syndrome leading to bleeding in the brain. This diagnosis pointed to a violent shaking of the toddler, a form of abuse known to cause severe and permanent damage. The evidence was mounting against Perry's account. Bruising on the torso aligned with Perry's admission of squeezing. This physical evidence corroborated his confession, confirming the act of violence he had admitted to. The autopsy findings were consistent with a pattern of abuse. The head injuries were inconsistent with Perry's explanation. The nature and severity of the head trauma did not match his claim that the toddler had simply hit his head on the bathtub. The medical evidence directly contradicted his version of events. The toddler's mother, Shamia Lindsay Holliday, had entrusted her child to Perry's care. The communication between them on that day revealed a disturbing undercurrent of frustration and anger. The text messages would become a crucial piece of evidence. Perry texted Lindsay Holliday throughout the day, providing updates on the toddler's behavior. However, these messages also revealed his growing impatience and irritation. The tone of the communication was increasingly concerning. He expressed frustration in the texts, complaining about the challenges of caring for the child. These messages hinted at a lack of patience and a growing resentment towards the toddler. The digital record painted a troubling picture. In one particularly disturbing text, Perry wrote to the mother that the toddler gotta go. This chilling message suggested a premeditated intent, a desire to be rid of the child. The implications of this text were deeply unsettling. Perry's preliminary hearing is scheduled for July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. This hearing will be a crucial step in the legal process, determining whether there is sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. The stakes are incredibly high. It is currently unclear if Perry has an attorney to represent him. The lack of legal representation raises concerns about his ability to defend himself against the serious charges he faces. The legal proceedings promise to be complex and challenging. The case against Perry rests on a foundation of compelling evidence. His own admissions, the autopsy findings, and the text messages all contribute to a damning portrait of abuse and neglect. The prosecution will likely present a strong case. Harry's admission of squeezing the toddler is a critical piece of evidence. This confession provides direct proof of his violent actions and his intent to harm the child. His words will be used against him in court. The autopsy findings directly contradict Perry's explanation of the head injury. The medical evidence proves that the toddler's injuries were far more severe and inconsistent with his account. This discrepancy undermines his credibility. The text messages expressing frustration and intent provide a glimpse into Perry's state of mind. His words reveal a growing anger and a disturbing desire to be rid of the child. These messages paint a chilling picture of his intentions. Perry was a family friend enlisted to babysit the toddler. This betrayal of trust adds another layer of tragedy to the case. The mother had placed her child in the care of someone she believed she could trust, only to have that trust shattered in the most horrific way. This case highlights the tragic consequences of child abuse. It serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of children and the importance of protecting them from harm. The death of this toddler is a devastating loss for the community. The investigation was thorough, leading to Perry's arrest. Law enforcement worked diligently to uncover the truth behind the toddler's death. Their efforts have brought Perry to justice, but the pain of this tragedy will linger for years to come.